to one of the all-time greats. Bidding to take a step closer to an 18th Crucible quarter-final, only Hendry and O'Sullivan have made it to more. Winner of 31 ranking titles in all, the third most decorated player in history, the pride of Scotland, the Wizard of Wishaw, the one and only John Higgins. And finally, to one of this season's outstanding performers, winner of 6 big titles in the last 2 years. Can he close in on a 6th quarter-final 15 years after his first? A UK champion, a Masters champion, the pride of Northern Ireland. Here comes Mark the Pistol Allen. Can't stop addicted to the shindig. Chop, chop, yourself and go in big. Choose not to like the revelation.
So it's Stuart Bingham against Jack Lazowski on table 2. You can watch that on Discovery Plus on our digital platform. But here on table 1, part 2 of Mark Allen and John Higgins. I think Higgins will be the happier of the two with that 4-all scoreline. Just one significant break from him in the match so far. Allen had the chance to take a 5-3 lead, but Higgins won the 4th. Allen unable to get the snookers he needed at the back end of that 8th frame. So
the 9th
all
frame.
square, here we go.
To break.
Mark Allen to break off in frame 9. Of course, another 8 frames coming this afternoon, and they actually play to a finish tomorrow evening. Higgins, who started using a new cue in the build-up to this championship. He's never been afraid of experimenting with new equipment. How many times did you change your cue in your pomp, Joe?
Well, only twice, I'm afraid. The one I won the World Championship with is, that's the one I started with. And then a few years after that, I had it split in 2, actually, and it was never the same after that. I had it split in 2 to take on the planes with me, and it was never the same. So the one I'm using now, I switched to, and I've been loyal to that cue ever since.
Utterly faithful. Half a chance here for Allen to get in first, because he made a century in the opening frame when they were spread everywhere. Nicely cued. Although the cue ball is nowhere.
No, I think he may have tried just to clip the black, develop it. He got very close, didn't he? But could so easily have been on the pink a little harder. It was a good pot. Not playing to pot this. Just playing the safety.
Mark Allen 1.
Sometimes it can take a while to adjust to a new cue, and it was noticeable that John Higgins' long game wasn't quite there yesterday. Only 4 out of 12 achieved. Made that break of 73 in order to help him share the first 8 frames. That's actually his highest break of the tournament so far. His highest against Jamie Jones in round 1 was 68. Oh, what a pot that was. Nothing wrong with that long one.
Brilliant. Very good. And what's even better, as far as John Higgins fans are concerned, that he took it on. Because he could have played the safety, but he took it on, and in it went cleanly. Excellent shot. Real confidence builder, that one.
Playing his 100th match in the World Championship, John Higgins. Of course, he's been an ever-present in the world's top 16 since 1995, the year he made his debut here and lost to McManus. But he needs to win this match with that top 16 ranking in mind, even though he beat Jamie Jones in round 1. With other results, he's still provisionally outside of the 16, and of course it's a record he's very proud of. But he's dismissed any talk of retirement, which was kind of hinted at in the build-up to this championship after beating Jones. No plans to pack away his cue, whatever happens in this World Championship, which is good to hear.
Absolutely. We want to see the likes of John, Ronnie, Mark Williams, Ken Doherty. We want to keep on seeing them. We may never see their likes again. He's had 13 maximum breaks, John Higgins. (993 centuries). And the crowd bewitched.
Three out of 4 with the rest in this match.
Thanks. 12.
Always likes to leave a nice angle on the black to be able to manoeuvre it wherever he likes. Could play for the red back into the same pocket. Red to the middle. He's got various options.
This is their third World Championship meeting. Higgins has won the previous 2. He's also won the 2 times they played at the UK Championship, but Mark Allen has won 5 out of 6 when they played at the Masters. And of course edges the overall head-to-head 13-11. They played 5 times this season alone and 4 times this year. Allen edging it 3-2. So they're very familiar with one another this season already, but of course this is the biggest match of all.
$19.
Not afraid of using the rest, and that's what he played to do that. Played to finish Threatre on this red. So just slightly out of position, taking the more difficult red. Always nice to see those going as well. Now, does he go into them? Or does he play for that last loose red? If he could catch that red by the pink spot on the the right-hand side as we look at it when the picture comes back up, he'd push a red towards the corner. Perfectly played. Absolutely perfectly played. But is he on one?
32.
I won't be too concerned about the pink being tied up.
$33.
Would have liked to have been closer to the black and a better angle. This is awkward. May screw back for the red to the middle, but it's just awkward, this. Didn't quite have the angle to run through off the cushions.
$40. $41.
And now back in prime position. The red by the pink spot. That one there. We'll go into this left corner. And may just be able to give the other reds a nudge.
46.
I feel sure he just tried to catch the end red and develop it. But the 2 loose reds would be enough. Again, perfectly played. Perfect strength.
54.
What a start this is for John Higgins. Started with that terrific red to the left corner, screwing the cue ball back down for one of the baulk colours. 53 points the lead. Red and the black. 61 and the other red would be enough. And he's got on with this
55.
break, John Higgins. Hasn't hung about at all. Seen the shot, played it.
He started a little scratchily against Jamie Jones, trailed 3-1 in the first round, and then noticeably did pick up the pace, improved his rhythm, and played very well thereafter. Got a little bit sticky right at the end in closing it out, but in the end it was
62.
comfortable enough, 10-6 win, and we saw his reaction at the end. He was pumping his fist, all smiles. It means so much to him even now after all he's achieved.
63.
So that should be the frame.
Well, 1 snooker needed, so I wouldn't say the frame yet, especially where the red is by the pink. Because if Mark could pop 3 reds, 3 blacks, he could play a snooker, him behind the pink. And it would be a tough one. So he could do with this blue going in. And that's the grip. And that will do nicely. 2 snookers to tie now.
$68.
And that ends everything.
69.
Won't be coming back now, Mark Allen. He may have done, had that red not gone in.
I'm sure Higgins will be
74.
conscious that he hasn't scored as heavily as he would like to have done in this tournament so far, but of course there's still plenty of time to change that, and this is the great start to the afternoon session he was looking for. Didn't play particularly well
75.
in the first session and would have been happy to get out of it at 4 each, but he's made a very fast opening today.
John Higgins, 75 and the frame.
A break of 75 launched by a quite superb long red from John Higgins as he takes the lead in the second session. 5-4. What a start for the 4 times world champion John Higgins. A break of 75, his best of the tournament thus far, launched by as good a red as you'll see from distance. So that will have boosted his confidence early. They first met here way back in 2009 in the semi-finals. Mark Allen had beaten Ronnie O'Sullivan earlier in the tournament, played brilliantly in that match, then found himself 14-4 behind to Higgins. And in the end, Higgins was relieved to get over the line at 17-13. It was a huge comeback from Allen, but just left himself too much to do. And then again in 2017 in the second round, like here, it was a 13-9 victory for Higgins.
Yeah, so in this great event, it's Higgins who's had the success.
Higgins actually pointed out ahead of this match that for a player of Allen's calibre, his World Championship record is modest. Last year, of course, he made the semis again, but that was only the second time after that meeting with Higgins back in 09. So traditionally, he's not produced his best snooker here. Then again, as we know, in the last couple of seasons, he's found a winning formula. Multiple titles, playing a less expansive sort of a game than he did in previous times. Prepared to play the defensive shot when necessary, play the percentages. Outscoring John Higgins at the moment, but a frame behind. So.
I don't think there's any doubt whatsoever, Philip, that Mark Allen will at some stage win this great event. Just too good not to. And some of the older players, of course, are getting older.
In fact, all of them are getting older. Yeah, Allen is very motivated to conquer the World Championship. He's won the other 2 legs of the Triple Crown, of course. I think he feels his game style now is best equipped to deal with the rigours of this event, which are unique. He's definitely given up something in flair in the way he's played, but you can't argue with the results he's had in the last couple of seasons. 3 titles last season, Northern Ireland Open, that UK Championship when he came from 6-1 down, remember, to beat Ding, 10-7. World Grand Prix. And this season played exceptionally well to win the Invitational Champion of Champions. He only dropped 8 frames in that event, which of course features all of the winners of the tournaments from the previous season. Also picked up the shootout, which was significant actually, because he made a quiet start to this season and was outside the top 32 going into that tournament, but by winning it, got himself into the World Grand Prix, and he's built his season up since then. Not much of a safety in the end from Allen. He hasn't found the baulk cushion. One thing Mark Allen has shown in spades during this period of success in winning the titles that he has, 5 of them in the last 2 seasons, is patience. That final against Sting at the UK Championship is a case in point. At no stage did he panic. He was completely outplayed in the first session. Trailed 6-1 as mentioned, managed to win the last of the session and only dropped 1 more frame thereafter. But he has a tremendous match play temperament these days. Doesn't care how long it takes, as long as he gets the win. The ability to fall back on your B game, as it's called, is so important, particularly at the Crucible. If you don't have that B game, it's not possible to win this tournament because you can't play well all of the time, particularly over 17 days and the long frame sessions in this event. So sometimes you've got to scrap it out and make sure that when you do have an off session, the damage is limited as much as possible so that it doesn't derail the match altogether.
Touching ball called, so he can play the cue ball anywhere he wants to in the baulk area. He's looking at the possible plant there in case he does play the cue ball down in the long grass, as they call it. Might leave a plant on, doesn't want to do that.
No question that Allen does take longer these days over his shots than he did when he was better known for being quite a mercurial player. He'd have streaks where he was unplayable, made lots of big breaks quickly, and then maybe might go quiet. But of course now he's much more consistent in terms of his match performances and victories.
Well, it's going into 1.5 minutes to play a touching ball. He's covered that possible plant, which is what he was concerned about.
Half a chance for Allen if he can knock this mid-range red in. He was quite wide of the mark there.
Yeah, he knew he wasn't leaving anything on though, unless that is a plant, of course. Did he forget all about that? I think he thought he'd had a free go there, but if he's left the plant, it could be costly. Yep, it's there. It's on. The red next to the black. He's just having a look to see if it will go. That releases the black then, if he can play on that red.
7. Eight.
Yeah, still not a good table as yet.
15.
Just having a look at another possible plant to the right corner.
$16.
No, depends if that's a plant or not. He's got the opportunity to go into the reds or play for the red near the left corner. He's got various shots he could play. Looks like it's the plant again.
23.
And now he's got the angle to go into them. It might have been a costly red that Mark Allen attempted. Missed it and guaranteed to have left the plant on. I think he'd forgotten about it, you know. Could have played that cue ball somewhere else. Now, how's things worked out there? Not too bad, actually.
31.
No question that John Higgins has made the more assured start to the afternoon. That brilliant red that he raked in from distance, which launched his tournament high 75, would have helped.
Well, cheekily looking for another plant. He's already had 2 in this little break. Deliberately holding the spot. Yellow going down onto the blue spot.
$35.
And I think the red directly below the pink will go into the left corner,
38.
which in turn releases another 2 reds to the right corner. So, just planning his break at the moment. It is another plant, but has to be slightly made. Oh, he didn't want to hit them.
39.
That was a mistake. Shouldn't have been anywhere near those reds. Be disappointed with that.
Brown ball. John Higgins, 39.
And red's going towards that corner. It's gone in the corner. What a fluke that could turn out to be. Because where would the red have been had it not gone in? Right over the pocket. And that almost certainly would have cost him the frame. Well, there's nothing that John Higgins can do about that. A little bit of luck like that can turn matches.
He'll probably still be fuming, though, about this positional error he made just now when he was going nicely.
Yeah, he wouldn't have had the fluke then, would he?
Mark Allen hasn't settled at all as yet in this session, now looking for something to build on, but
4.
that could be end of break.
It wasn't the best positional shot, was it, to tell you the truth? It was way out there, at least 3 foot. There's nothing goes into the middle. Played for the red into the right corner, so it's just a safety from that fluke a moment ago.
Mark Allen, 4.
Allen will be disappointed, to put it mildly, that that fluke yielded only a further 3 points. Not the greatest of starts for Allen.
Well, wasn't
John
sure
Higgins, 4.
if it was going to drop.
Terrific. Oh, well, I was saying terrific pot. I thought it was in. And I think on certain other tables it would have been, but you've got to be so precise at this World Championship. Certainly struck it well, didn't he? But no joy for Higgins.
Yeah, I always thought it might drop this one as I saw it coming towards the pocket. Couldn't have got any closer without going in.
Another chance for Allen from mid-distance. He's missed one already.
Very similar to this. But not this time. He's overhit it though, has he?
One.
Now this table is not running quick at all.
Needs to get something going here, Alan. It's been a indifferent start to the afternoon for him. Earlier this season, he passed the 600 career century mark, one of only 10 players to achieve that feat.
Thank you, 310.
Cheers.
And again, he's misjudged it. Play for the red below the pink and to the right slightly. And that's end of break unless he can find a plant. This red along the cushion, it's very risky to take on, but he may feel he's no choice. If he misses it, it could be over the pocket.
Cheers. Mark Allen, 4.
Oh, that's a beautiful shot. Needs a big bounce, though. Needs a big bounce. And
One.
that's just enough. Great opening red. Played it as a shot to nothing, but them shot to nothings can win you the frame sometimes. And it's given him a chance here. He's already 36 points in front. Long pot success for this session, 100%.
Oh, he's knocked in 2 or 3 crackers, hasn't he? Which, as mentioned at the start of this session, was not the case yesterday. He seemed to be struggling with hitting them thick on one side of the table and then overcompensating on the other from distance, but he's looked sharp on the resumption today. Already 36 in front. Oh, and he's overcut the brown. Well, it's never straightforward when you've got extensions on your cue and the rest, but even so, that's a good chance that's gone begging for Higgins, and that chance now falls to Allen.
Yeah, he's missed 3 times with the rest, and normally that's his strong suit.
One.
Well, he's gifted Mark Allen a chance to get right back into this frame. The blue could be his only stumbling block, really. This red close to the pocket is not a gimme either.
Eight. 9.
Well, this is the first really good chance Allen has had to put a few together. He fluked to red earlier in this frame and potted the green, immediately ran out of position. Didn't really get a look in the first frame. So a chance
16.
to try and establish a bit of flow to his game, which has not been there as yet.
17. $24.
Now I've got to finish high on the black to be able to get back to that last red near the cushion.
25.
And this could be tricky, this red. Looks easy. Well, he hasn't left himself in the best spot there. Needed a little bit more angle.
32.
Doesn't want to hit this too hard. Played it well.
33.
Not the cleanest pot, but it's gone in. And this would be a real boost for Mark
40.
Allen. It was beginning to look as though Higgins was taking a two-frame advantage for the first time in this match. Mr. Brown with the rest.
Yeah, he'll be kicking himself for that.
42.
6 points the lead. He needs the blue.
$45.
And that's not the best angle. May have to go across the table and back across again. Could go wrong. Doesn't want to hit it. No, he didn't want to hit it.
49.
Although he's still got a pot at this blue to the corner. A little fortunate. Right in the middle. No danger.
54.
So that Higgins gift was gratefully received. The miss on the brown was very costly.
Mark Allen, 54.
One snooker.
Foul. Mark Allen, 6 and the frame.
Yeah, Mark Allen making the most of John Higgins' error on the brown. And in the process, levelling this match once again. It's 5 frames all.
Frame 11. Mark Allen to break.
The first 2 frames of the afternoon shared. The first 10 of this match shared. 5 apiece. Can someone forge an advantage going into the concluding session tomorrow night? Mark Allen will certainly be the happier of the two right now. John Higgins was looking good to make it 6-4 and apply the pressure, but Allen, having largely been frozen out, conjured a good half-century when given the chance.
No, I just may have left a long red to the right corner. If you can stun past those reds surrounding the black, doesn't like it. So trying to get in behind the brown, I would suspect. Yeah, it's pretty straight, this red to the corner. But might just try and drop it in. Leave the cue ball in the jaws of the pocket. Trying to catch it thin.
Foul. And a miss. John Higgins, 4. Back, yeah.
So that's going back. Try the same thing. So you can see what he's trying to do. He's trying to come off the cushion, the two cushions actually, catch the red thin and send the cue ball back to the baulk area. It's a clever shot and well thought
Have
out.
a look at it on the screen. No, you couldn't play thin off it, but I thought it was pretty much a full ball, so... OK.
Paul Collier, who will be packing away his snooker gloves for good as a referee at the end of this season, not before he's taken charge of another final to take up an administrative role in the sport.
Yeah.
That looks absolutely spot on. Got the still frame just now.
So you're a little bit more this way then, just taking a bit of the red away, yeah?
That is the still frame. Well, it looks absolutely right to me.
Right, John. Thanks.
Yeah, nicely played. And so well thought out to play it. Just caught it a little bit thick. Wanted to be the other side of the brown. Good pace though.
Foul. And a miss. John Higgins, 4.
Mark Allen was embroiled in an absolute epic with Mark Selby last season in the semi-finals. At one stage he led that particular match 6-3 and then trailed 16-10 before winning 5 in a row. It finished after midnight. Arguably had an impact on Selby for the start of the world final.
Well, it's not going back because he's found a plant. And would have to hit it thick from his side, just slightly. Well, let's open things up a little.
They've shared the first 2 frames on table 2, by the way, so Stuart Bingham now leading by 6 frames to 4 over Jack Lazowski, who's won the 10th. Coverage continues on Discovery Plus. This frame yet to really get underway. Important safety exchange underway.
Thank you. Being honoured. Stuart Bingham today.
Not easy by any means, but a chance for Higgins to get back in.
Yeah, and there was lots of danger. He had to avoid all those reds. And maybe he tried to avoid them more than the pot. As Philip said, it was never easy, that shot. But he's got second prize. He's got pretty safe.
Yeah, that's clearly on the pedestrian side, particularly for Mark Allen at 35 seconds a shot. There's been a lot of thinking that's been going on so far. But it was a good break when he got his chance in the previous frame, a chance that Higgins will feel he shouldn't have given him. Of course, he missed the brown. when he had a healthy lead. Another plant, and that one emphatically dispatched by Higgins.
And there was great distance between those reds, wasn't there? That was a very, very attacking shot he played there, and he's on the pink to the middle. Got to make sure of the pink rather than the position, because the positional side of the shot is not guaranteed. There goes the pink, and I think he's just about on the red to the right of the black.
7.
It was a real statement of intent, that plant, wasn't it? Because it was not a gimme, and there was certainly risk attached had he missed it. But maybe Higgins looking to play a more expansive game, really take this match to Allen. Showed his form in the first frame with that 75. Could have won the previous frame, perhaps should have done. I think he's feeling pretty good about his game at the moment, though. It's been a season where Higgins
14.
has been certainly very consistent. He's made 4 ranking semi-finals without going to a final. He's not won a ranking title now for over 3 years. But new cue,
15.
and always inspired when he comes back to the scene of many of his greatest triumphs. Still gets the old buzz, he says, driving down to the tournament. No different from when he made his debut here 30 years ago.
Yeah, trying to develop
21.
these 4 reds, which were all covering one another. And it could have landed a little kinder than this, couldn't it?
John Higgins, 21.
He'd have been expecting to make more from that, but the split wasn't kind when he went into the reds. And he would have expected to pot that. He'll be disappointed. That miss brown in the previous frame was very costly. And that red could be.
into its 17th minute.
Yeah, it's not straightforward, this, is it? There's no way back to balk. So maybe just looking at playing a containing safety shot, trying to leave the cue ball on the black cushion. This is not easy at all, needs some thinking about. He didn't get the cue ball to the black cushion. Maybe it ran off a little, the cue ball, and he's left a red on to the left middle. Well, that's kind of a let-off, and I think he's got safe. Well, it was a really thin cut, that, to the corner. And he's left a chance here for Mark Allen. Well, I can't believe he played that shot, actually. Fancied him strongly for the red that was close to the pocket, and the pink did go. But he thought he could get him behind the blue, but that little kiss there on the red has left a chance for Higgins.
One.
That doesn't look promising at first glance.
I don't think the black goes.
In which case, Alan has dodged a bullet because it was a poor safety having elected not to take the red on. The red's quite invitingly spread. If Higgins had got on a colour there, already 30 in front, every chance he was moving back in front. As it is, looks like end of break.
Well, we could end up with a re-rack here, actually. If Higgins leaves this cue ball on the cushion. It'll be just touchy-touchy.
Higgins will certainly want to avert that at all costs, given he's 30 in front.
Mr. Black.
He's missed the black
and
and left the red on.
And a miss, Mark Allen 7.
What a bizarre passage of play this has proved to be. Mark Allen refusing the long red to the right corner, trying to play a snooker behind the blue, making a mess of that. Higgins pots the red, doesn't get on a colour, and now he's fouled.
More importantly, though, he's left this red on.
1.
Well, I think he might just be able to see the pink, but he's well short of what he played. Pink to the right middle, that's what he played. And he's very fortunate that he's landed right behind this pink. Yeah, very fortunate to have left himself with such an easy pink from such a poor positional shot. Higgins will be kicking
7.
himself at missing the black and leaving the red on.
Eight.
I take it the two reds near the black spot. One of them will go, and that will clear that black spot area.
$14. 15. $21. 22.
Two significant errors from John Higgins in the last couple of frames, missing the brown when he had all the momentum, started much the better when he was looking good for 6-4, and then just now failing to connect with the black Oh, but Alan's now missed the pink. Well, it's become very disjointed, this session, this frame.
Mark Allen, 22.
Now, 27 minutes old.
Hasn't got on a red either. But it was the shot previously when he didn't finish on the pink as he played to do, which would have led him next to a nice easy red. By being the wrong side of the pink, he had to go in and out of baulk. Unfortunately for Mark Allen, he didn't land on a red. Oh, nice little kiss. Don't think this will be going back.
Foul. And a miss. John Higgins, 4.
Another chance for John Higgins.
One.
The problem with
6.
frames like this, when things become so bitty, is that all rhythm is lost and every shot you play becomes that more difficult to execute as you'd like. It's been akin to walking through quicksand, this frame so far. Higgins 11 in front. Second consecutive 30-minute frame. There's still a long way to go, you would think, in this one. It's a nice pot, though.
7.
Yeah, nice pot, but what kind of an angle has he got? It looks fairly straight, may have a slight angle if you can play it with left-hand side on the cue ball. Needs to slow down. Needs to slow down, and it just pulled up in time.
12. Thirteen. Eighteen. $19.
Higgins is going to need one of the awkward reds with a colour to make the frame safe. So still some work to be done. 24 the lead.
Well, he wasn't sure
26.
if this red would go. And from there, it doesn't look like it goes, does it? No, that doesn't go.
John Higgins, 26.
.31 the advantage, but still 51 on the table.
Cheers.
He plays that shot so well. Excellent shot. Now, target would be the second red below the black. Nice and gentle. Played it well. Yeah, I would have expected to have got nearer the cushion.
Higgins still needs 2 reds to win this frame, which is now into its 36th minute.
Oh, yes. Great shot. Great shot.
1.
32 points the difference, and he hasn't finished on one. That's incredibly unlucky, isn't it, to have played such a good long red and not to be on a colour. Maybe push the yellow to the cushion. He knows all the crafty shots, Higgins. Thinking of pushing the blue to the cushion, I would think.
John Higgins won. Sure.
And that just makes things a little bit harder for Mark Allen, if he does get a chance. Yeah, didn't play it much harder than that to get the cue ball in behind the colours, because the red would have gone further towards that corner pocket.
Certainly a big lead at the moment for Higgins, given the state of the table with two of the colours out of commission. That's not to say Allen can't turn it around, but very much advantage Higgins at the moment, although he's pushed the red over the pocket here.
Yeah, and that's why Mark Allen didn't play that last shot harder, because he didn't want to play just this. I'm surprised that Higgins played it like that. I thought he would have played it thicker and sent the red towards the blue. But maybe he didn't want that. Very nearly developed the pink.
One.
Oh, I can see a very nasty snooker coming up here. Maybe cushion first on the brown.
Could do with a few penalty points, Allen. There's not much room to manoeuvre now. 31 the difference, with 35 now left, with that red having gone.
Mark Allen won.
It would be a big swerve if he attempted it. Oh, he swerved it too much.
Foul and a miss. Mark Allen full. Back. What's that watching? Yeah. Okay.
Well, just a little bit less swerve.
A little bit tighter for it. Yeah.
Just making it more difficult for
I think it gives
himself.
us a lot. Yeah, have a look.
I think it needs to move forward just a smidgen.
Well, it looks like it needs to go back a bit.
Well, that's where it was, that's where it is. So it needs to go forward.
Yeah. Okay.
Right.
But in the event, it's staying put. So can Higgins learn from that initial swerve where he overcooked?
Of course, he doesn't know where it's going to go if he does hit it. That's better. Now, is he snookered? Is he snookered? He is. Well, that's so unlucky for Mark Allen.
.27 behind.
It's going over the other pocket. He needs the snooker, and there was side on the cue ball, so just the red needed. What a hard fought frame this has been for both players, and it always hurts the one who loses it the most.
And in goes the red. It has been a real struggle. John Higgins has always had the upper hand, but a couple of errors from him could have proved costly as it is, with Allen missing the red. Higgins has surely now got the frame won.
Yeah, still only one snooker though, and that wasn't the best positional shot in the world. So I've got to try and make sure of this.
And we saw a reaction from Mark Allen when he returned to his chair, having left the red over the pocket, banging his cue on the floor in frustration. So much effort invested in this frame,
8
to no avail.
John Higgins, 8. And the frame.
Not a pretty frame by any stretch of the imagination, but it's gone the way of John Higgins. That's all he'll care about. And for the second time this afternoon, he edges in front in this battle royale here at the Crucible. He leads 6-5.
John Higgins to break.
Another theoretical 5 frames in this session, although the pace would have to pick up to get them all in. They're back tomorrow night to finish.
Good cue ball, but he's brought that red down the table. So an early chance for Mark Allen. Wait for it. Wait for it. There's all sorts happening here. Very unfortunate. But wouldn't have gone in off the red had he potted the red. So, the early chance falls to Higgins now.
One.
No question that Higgins has looked the better of the two so far this afternoon. He might have won all 3 frames, in fact, but he'll be delighted to have got over the line in that
6.
very scrappy affair just now. Get himself back in front.
Seven.
Higgins' 2 wins over Allen this season have come at the German Masters and the Welsh Open. Allen has beaten Higgins in the Champion of Champions, the Masters and the Tour Championship. But Higgins has won both of their meetings at the Crucible.
14.
And this is a very good chance to do some early damage in this frame. Get himself
15.
2 in front for the first time. That's the plan.
Well, his choice here of going into the pack of reds with the advantage of that red above the black. But decided against it. Just building a lead, nothing wrong with that. Take the loose reds first.
22. 23.
He keeps getting further and further away from the object ball.
30.
Should have been a lot closer.
$31.
Again, just a little bit too hard with his positional play.
38.
Could play down for the blue this time. Try and leave an angle to split the reds. Oh, he's overcut it by a long way.
John Higgins, 38.
Obviously, he didn't want the kiss on the black, and he thought he was going to miss it. And that, again, is a let-off for John.
Black ball. Mark Allen, 1. Thanks.
Well, this red above the black, it's got half a chance of going in the right corner. Well, playing something different. Well, the red has stayed near that left corner, but it's such a difficult shot. And if you catch these kind of shots thick, the cue ball goes into the pack of reds.
His conversion rate from distance in this session from Higgins has been way better, 9 out of 12 as opposed to 3 out of 12 in the first session. This is a thin one though. Not that thin.
No, and it's offered a chance to Mark Allen.
One.
Allen could really do with getting some fluency into his game. He did make the half century to win the second frame of this session after Higgins missed Brown. The last frame was a bit of a trial for both of them before Higgins eventually got over the line, but this is an opportunity now to show the other side of his game, the break building, which of course at its best is among the best. Tremendous controller of the cue ball, Mark Allen, and can be very fluent, but there's been a fair bit of head shaking. I don't think he's thrilled with the way he's playing. In fact, he said that a number of times this season, but it hasn't stopped him getting results and winning titles.
9. $14. $15.
Yeah, caught the near knuckle, didn't it? Still dropped.
$21. $22.
One more easy red. And then he's got to start thinking about playing a cannon to those 3 reds.
$27. $28.
He might just be able to play the cannon to those reds if one doesn't go. Oh, it could have been better. Is there a plant there?
35.
Yeah, just a little high. Don't want a big
Mark
bounce.
Allen, 35.
That could have been a lot worse after missing the red. He could so easily have left this red on. And he might still have left a chance at it for Higgins. No, can't be tempted.
There's never been more than a frame between them. Higgins is hoping to change that going into the mid-session interval. So just 6 points between them.
Yeah, sure.
Still 59 on the table.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, not quite, Snooker. It is on those two reds. Yeah, good safety, good pace on that cue ball.
Oh, wow.
What?
Wow. It didn't look as though it was going to drop, but all of a sudden, and it drops. Well, he may not score off this red, but he's not sat in his chair. Well, Mark Allen's potting balls, and that's what would have happened had the red stayed out.
Ramble. John Higgins, 1.
Oh dear.
Yeah, didn't want that. It's still a tough table, this, with that red on the left side cushion.
Sure.
Higgins doesn't need the brown, which he just tried to push safe, providing he gets big colours with the reds.
Okay. 1.
Missed earlier with the extension on the rest. And it was an important miss. It was a brown into the yellow pocket, which allowed Alan in to win the 10th frame. But John Higgins now in charge of this one as he looks to forge a 7-5 interval lead.
Well, this is a clever shot. Playing on this red on the right side cushion, although the cue ball's gone
7.
closer to the cushion than he wanted. But by playing on this red first, he's given himself a great chance. Because that always was going to be a difficult red. 15, the lead.
Not going to need the awkward green, so a great chance here for Higgins.
Well, a big colour here,
15.
and it will leave Mark Allen needing snookers.
$16.
Higgins has looked the better of the two this afternoon.
He's been more positive, hasn't he? You know, he's tried to make things happen.
21.
Okay, he got a very important fluke a couple of shots ago.
23.
Alan had one earlier in the session, but only made a further 3 points, i.e. a potted green, before he ran out of position. And of course, crucially, Higgins took that epic 40-plus minute frame, which could have gone either way. So it's 2 snookers.
John Higgins, 23.
You're never safe in this day and age. When your opponent needs snookers. Oh, this isn't a bad effort, is it? Very good shot. Oh, can he just hit the green? He can. I've got to be careful. Doesn't want to hit the black. This is close again. Just short of pace, but a good line. Very good line.
overcooked that one. If Higgins could pot the green, then it's 3 snookers. But control of the table is just as good for Higgins.
Yeah, he attempted the double there, knowing full well that he's got a really good chance of the snooker. Always thinking.
And
Mark Allen concedes, so a lengthy mini session of snooker, but it's gone John Higgins' way, and for the first time there's a 2-frame gap between this pair of snooker titans, and it's Higgins who has the edge. At the interval, he leads 7-5. So Mark Allen to get us back underway, and I think Allen will feel as though he needs to raise his game now. Managed to take one of the frames with a half century, but hasn't really had any fluency so far. Higgins has been the more aggressive of the two, and he's been rewarded with 3 of the 4 frames. In theory, another 4 to come in this session, but given it's now just gone 5 o'clock local time, the pace would have to increase from the first quartet of frames for that to happen. They lasted just over 2 hours, one of which was a 44.5-minuter, which went Higgins' way. It's one of the tightest modern rivalries in the sport. This is their 25th meeting, Allen having won 13 to Higgins 11, their 11th meeting in a Triple Crown tournament, and they're 5-all as regards the overall head-to-head in that, albeit that Higgins has won both here at the Crucible. Allen has beaten Higgins 5 times out of 6 at the Masters, and Higgins has won their 2 UK Championship meetings. And this is their 6th meeting this season, so they're extremely familiar with one another.
Yes, Mark Allen fought very hard in that first session, but only had 1 frame to show for it. Some long frames, some long studying, and when you lose those long frames, it's very tiring. Whereas on the other hand, if you win them, you're renewed. Well, the long red surely too dangerous to take on. Just leave the cue ball on the black cushion. Now, as he covered the red to the middle. appears not. Yeah, good pot and a good chance. Black and pink available.
Six. Seven.
Now he's in amongst the black. Doesn't want to be too straight on this black. It's difficult to run through, so I'll screw back for the red into the same pocket.
$14. $15. $21.
Mark Allen started this match with a century. Since then, he's added breaks of 79, 65, and today, the 54 that won him the second frame of the session after Higgins had missed that brown. Snooker has been fairly stodgy, though, thus far, so he'd really like to break the shackles here and just remind everyone what a great break builder he can be.
28.
Well, the black goes into this right corner, followed by the red above it. So, great chance, this.
Right, possible, please.
$35.
Yeah, pink doesn't go to the middle. I don't think he can get back to the black, so unless this red next to the black goes. Yeah, it does, so I'm not sure what he was
36.
studying there.
$43. $44.
Thank you, 50.
51.
Nicely played. That was difficult cueing and seems to have speeded up a little bit, and it's doing him the world of good actually.
$57.
Uncharacteristically for John Higgins, he played a loose safety into baulk and left Alan Ared to the right centre, and this is the result.
58.
A golden chance to get back to within a frame again.
Yeah, just one safety shot, wasn't it? And as you say, left him a chance at that red. And this is more like the Mark Allen that we know.
$64.
This red and a colour. And there could be a really big break in the offing here, and that, I think, would be a real tonic for Alan. If he could make a century here.
$71.
When he's playing well, he's got a lovely, delicate touch in amongst the balls. He controls the cue ball well. Of course, that's a cue for missing a red he should have got, inevitably. 71. But he's 71 in front with 67 left. It's only a one snooker to tie.
Absolutely. You know, this is so careless. And this man is just the man to do the job. He has won from this position so many times. And this is the awkward red, and he could have done with being just a little bit straighter on this red. You've got to drop this in dead weight just to give it every chance of dropping in the pocket. And if it does go, he's not out of this game yet. Good pot.
9.
It's got to be blacks, otherwise it's two snookers.
16. $17.
Uncomfortable moments for Alan, certainly, because he'll be only too aware of Higgins' prowess when it comes
24.
to laying effective snookers. He really should have killed the frame off. He was looking good for a century before missing that red to the right corner.
$25.
Now, where to leave the cue ball to try and lay a good snooker? You could land somewhere just above the pink. Well, he didn't want the hamper. A little bit further up would have been nice. Then you could
32.
have played The red in behind the blue, the white in behind the black. Not ideal. It's close though. It's very close, this.
John Higgins, 32.
Yep. And Mark Allen will be thinking, how have I left myself in this position? The easy red that I've just missed. And still fancy him to hit this one. It's just a one cushion escape. But he's got to be aware of where he leaves the cue ball if he misses it. Number one, he doesn't want to leave a free ball. That's most important. Number two, he doesn't leave the red on so that Higgins can pot the red and get to the black. Well played. Right in the middle of the red. Now he might decide to pot the black here while he's got the opportunity. Wow, it wriggled, didn't it?
One.
Now if you can drop on the baulk cushion, say 3 or 4 inches off the baulk cushion, you can play him behind the brown. Again, wriggled in. Maybe a little
8.
closer to the yellow than he wanted, but he can still get in tight behind the brown here. Leave the yellow in the middle of the table. Oh, he's overhit it by a distance. That was a really good chance. I'd be disappointed with that.
A shake of the head from Higgins. Allen would have been concerned before he played that shot. Oh. Some noise at the back of the arena.
We'll turn that off, please.
Chelsea one.
It might be a football commentary. Guess it's a variation on a mobile phone. It's just broken the tension for a moment. Mark Allen looking to secure this frame. Oh, goodness.
Who was
Honestly. We don't need that.
Yeah, can you escort him out, please?
As things stand, Higgins still needs a 4-point snooker to tie. It's just missed a chance to get a snooker. Whoever did call out is going to be removed.
Yeah, and rightly so. Just as the player was down on his stroke. Very ungentlemanly.
Paul Collier, who of course will be officiating the World Final a week today, before he moves into an admin role with World Snooker. It's taking a while to sort this out. Let's have a look over at table 2 while we wait for play to recommence, and it's dead level over there. It's been a good afternoon so far for Jack Lazowski, having trailed 5-3 at one stage. He's managed to level with Stuart Bingham, although Bingham is in the balls, as you can see. It continues on Discovery Plus. We're back underway. Allen looking to avoid conceding the snooker that would let Higgins back into this frame.
Yeah, that should put paid to this game. 2 snookers required. Just got to be careful not to go in off, but I don't think Mark Allen will do something as silly as that. And that's absolutely certain.
And the initial break that did most of the damage was a fluent one. He'll have been a little disappointed not to win the frame slightly more emphatically than he has. The balls were set up for a big century, but he's won the frame. That's the most important thing, to stay in touch.
Mark Allen 5.
Barring snookers, that is, and indeed John Higgins concedes. So Higgins lead shaved to a single frame. This match is every bit as tight as we expected it would be. Higgins leading 7-6. Frame 14. 3 more still to come in this session. The question is someone going to get a lead to take into tomorrow night's concluding session?
I think it's just gone past the yellow. Yep, there's confirmation. The red is on to the left middle. That was a chance for Mark Allen. He had his eye in. Made that 71 break in the last frame, and had he gone on to win the frame at that visit, instead of playing on for snookers, I don't think he'd have missed that red.
One.
Tried to miss the reds and go back down for the blue bought colours. Well, this is a big shot he's playing here. Black to the middle. Has to go in, this. Has to go in. And it has done. Very good.
I think that's typical of the positive approach John Higgins has taken today. He's been prepared to take one on that carries risk, and he's been rewarded there.
Nine.
Just a little far for the blue, but he's okay on the yellow. He can come down for that red by the blue. Well, Mark Allen showed the way in the last frame. Practically winning the frame at one visit. Well, left his opponent needing snookers anyway.
$17. $18.
Higgins has actually only made 2 breaks
25.
of real substance in this match. The 73 in the first session, which was his highest of the tournament, and the 75 he made at the start of this one to eclipse that. But he has looked just the more composed player overall today. Perhaps it was the other way round in the first session and he would have been happier to get out of it at 4-all. Today he's just had the edge and he's looking now to guarantee that he can be no worse than
33.
level going into the decisive session by winning this frame.
$34.
I'm not sure if the blue will go into that left corner. Would make things a lot easier if it does. It's very tight, this. It looks like it will go on TV, but this is very tight. Only half a pocket there. Yeah. There's only half a pocket.
34.
And now, what a chance for Mark Allen.
He was definitely distracted by the red, wasn't he? And in the end, overcompensated by going too wide.
Yeah, it was quite a lot wide, wasn't it? And maybe it drifted to the right as well, which didn't help. So the way that Mark Allen's playing, you'd expect him to score here.
$6. $7.
Oh, he couldn't have played that any better. Nice little cannon. He
14.
knew he always had the red near the left corner, but he didn't really want to play that. But he made something happen there. A nice little cannon.
15.
It's really opened things up. The frame is in his grasp.
$22. $23.
Higgins reflecting on the chance he had.
29. $30.
The two reds closest together. I think one of them will go to the right middle. And he's got the opportunity to give them a little touch here. But he's not guaranteed to be on one, and that's why he's a little bit hesitant to play the shot.
36. 37.
Now, will he play a little cannon to those two reds? If he gets it, you'd expect him to win the frame.
$44. 45.
A great chance now then for Mark Allen to capitalise on the miss blue from Higgins into that left corner when he was somewhat distracted
51.
by the red, obscuring part of the pocket. Hit it wide, and this is the result.
52.
18 the lead, so this black, the red and any colour for parity.
Yeah, he's started to find his touch, hasn't he, Mark
59.
Allen? Although he was handed the chance from Higgins. But all you can do is take them. And with that red going in,
60.
he's given himself every chance. 26 points the difference. You wouldn't expect him to miss this black, so 7 each.
And just as importantly, I think, for Allen, the fact that he's rediscovered some fluency that wasn't really there
67.
before the interval. 71 in the previous frame. As John Higgins watches on and reflects on a couple of frames that
69.
he'll feel have got away from winning positions. But it's all about punishing your opponent's mistakes here at the Crucible in particular. And Allen has done that.
72.
Higgins paid the price for a loose safety in the previous frame and for the miss blue in this one.
76.
And right now, it almost feels inevitable that this is going to go to the wire.
81.
Not quite enough for the century, but this is much more like it
87.
from Mark Allen. He's played very well since the interval. A clearance of 94. Back-to-back frames for the pistol. He fires his way back into contention, and we're dead level again here at the Crucible. It's 7 frames all. A tremendous competitive
Frame
spirit
15.
as Mark Allen.
Mark
He's
Allen
not
to back.
easily phased, as he proved when he beat Ding for the UK Championship 6-1 down in a pretty precarious position, but he turned it around. And he's responded well since the interval with those 2 meaty breaks. So 2 more to come. Is it going to be on as even again as it was in the first session, or can one of these two forge a 2-frame advantage to take into the decisive session tomorrow night from 7 o'clock UK time?
Yeah, good shot. Very attacking shot. Wasn't a gimme by any means. But now that it's gone in, it's Mark Allen who's on the attack again.
Three.
Seems that once again, and certainly not for the first time in this championship, the interval has proved something of a watershed moment. Mark Allen was struggling a bit beforehand.
Four.
He's looked a different player since.
Yeah, I think he's been more positive as well since the interval, and maybe that's what he said to himself when he was in his dressing room. You know, I'm playing okay, playing good safety, but it's getting me nowhere. I've got to start knocking a few balls in, and that's what he started to do with that 71 and 94. And he's also speeded up a little bit.
Six.
Of course, it helps when you get clear chances, and John Higgins will feel that he's been guilty of giving Allen a way back into this second session with first the safety error,
Seven.
frame before last, and then, of course, the miss blue. But Allen has looked good in taking those chances, and now looking to continue that momentum here, get himself in front again for the first time since 4-3.
Yeah, those little touches that he's playing are just working out sublimely.
14.
Again, just moving the red away from the black and leaving himself nicely
15.
on that red.
When he's playing at his peak, he has such good cue ball control. Quite often you won't even see that cue ball hitting the cushion very often, because he likes to stay really close in, just little touches here and there. As Joe says, it's really nice
22.
to watch when he's playing nicely.
$23.
And as much as he's improved his overall match play and his difficulty to beat, that's certainly an asset at the Crucible, but it's not enough of itself. You've got to be able to score heavily as well when the chance presents itself, and that's what he's beginning to do now.
30.
Thank you. The final three on the session.
Now, he
31.
could take the opportunity here just to give those reds a little touch. He only has to knock 2 or 3 out, and he'd be on the red just above the cue ball.
$38.
May take the red to the middle. Difficult to get to the black from the other red. Even he says, wow.
Well, it took a tour of the lip of the pocket, this one. Happily for Allen, it disappeared.
Heart in the mouth moment. Now, no reason why he shouldn't put in a frame-winning break now.
44. 45.
So there's a red directly above the black. That will go into this left corner once he removes this loose red.
The tables have certainly turned
52.
since that 15-minute break. John Higgins' turn to warm his chair rather more than he'd like.
53.
He's a little short of pace now. This game isn't won now.
58.
There's a possible plant there, but there's distance between them. And he didn't play for this plant, played for the red, the loose red. But it's there. Coolly played.
59.
Very coolly played.
A third half-century in a row from Allen. He's picked his game up appreciably. He had to do that. I'm sure he would have been saying that to himself at the interval. He's raised his game appreciably.
So
65.
just this red needed. And that's all you can ask of yourself. Win the frame in one visit.
66.
And he looks set to do that for the third frame on the bounce. And now it's John Higgins who needs to summon something in the final frame of this session. The pace has picked up significantly. At one stage it looked like they might not get all 8 in, but just one to come
72.
now. And Allen is really flowing.
$73.
Missed the cannon, but it's surely irrelevant with only
80.
51 left. He'd love a century, of course, but he'll be highly delighted, I think, with the way he's responded to a bit of adversity at 7-5 down and not really playing anywhere near his capabilities. John Higgins concedes. It's 3 on the bounce from Mark Allen. He's found a couple of extra gears since that interval and now guarantees himself a share of the session. Can he lead it at the end? 8-7 up. Higgins was the better player before the interval. Allen has turned the tables since.
The final frame of this session, John Higgins to break.
Well, long straight red to the corner. Can't see an easy safety. Oh, he's away off that one. Where's it going to finish?
Crucially, having missed the red by such a distance, it didn't collide into anything, which might have left Higgins something to go at. In the end, it's proved to be a pretty good safety, albeit not by design.
catching the reds too thick. Now, what's the damage? I think there may be one to the middle. But it could have been a lot easier.
No doubt that Higgins has lost his way a bit since he carved out that 7-5 interval lead. And crucially, Mark Allen has been good enough to punish his mistakes. Can he do so again here? Allen now looking for a clean sweep in the second half of this session. What a result that would be, and what a setback for Higgins. He must have been feeling good at 7-5 up. Certainly wouldn't have been contemplating being behind at the end of this second session. But that's now becoming a distinct possibility.
Four.
Real?
Oh, the slides there. Okay. Five. Ten. 11.
Black will only go to one pocket at the moment.
17.
And this is the red that can get him there if he wants to. Doesn't have to play for the black. And he hasn't.
18.
Although Higgins won 3 of the first 4 this afternoon and looked the better player, the reality is that Allen has made many more breaks in this match. Only 2 70-plus contributions from Higgins, but nothing more than that. Allen has made 7 big breaks, including 3, of course, in the last 3 frames, and now threatening to do it again.
25.
Yeah, it started off with a really good red to the right middle, didn't it? And now he's right in amongst them. And like I said before,
31.
he doesn't have to play for the black. No, he's doing quite well with the pink.
$32.
Unrecognisable, really, from the player in the first 4 frames. Yes, he made a half century to pinch the second, but this has been much more like the Mark Allen that we've enjoyed watching over the years. We know that he's altered his game in recent times in a bid to become tougher to beat and more
38.
durable in these big events, and you'd have to say he's succeeded in that regard, given he's won 5 titles in the last 2 seasons. But you need that flow to your game as well
39.
when you get the chance, and that's what he's been able to locate since the interval.
Yeah, and it started with that good red to the middle from John Higgins' safety. Higgins played the cue ball down by the yellow pocket, but left a little sniff at
45.
the red to the middle. It was tough. He knocked it in. He won the frame from that.
46.
And he's been playing one chance snooker since then. Needing just one chance to win frames. And that is good snooker. Didn't bother him when he went 2 behind. Didn't panic. And Higgins could probably do with the break right now, actually. Because he's certainly found his touch, Mark Allen.
52.
Oh, it's been a very disappointing second half of the session for Higgins, no question about it. 2 mistakes have directly led to 2 frames for Allen, but it's been how clinical Allen has been able to be.
$53.
Yeah, he's got the pace of the table perfectly now. It's running a little slow for me, but he's really got used to it. And looks like it's suiting him.
Another 2 reds
59.
for a 9-7 overnight lead. What a result that will be for Allen from 7-5 behind.
$60.
Well, he's the wrong side of the pink. The pink will put him 66 in front with 67 left, and there you could see a little grimace because he's the wrong side. Had he been the other side of the pink, he would have had 2 easy reds to play for. As it is, this red along the cushion, if he takes it on, doesn't have to. Because don't forget, the black is available, so if he misses this...
And he's playing the past master of clearing up from this kind of deficit.
Yeah, just wriggled in, touched that near knuckle, but it was at a good pace. And that was all he needed. Don't think there's any way back for Higgins now, especially if this pink goes in. Just wants to make sure of it.
A tough mini session for Higgins, who
73.
was threatening to take a real grip on this match. It's been well and truly loosened. Mark Allen,
74.
unrecognisable from the player at the start of the afternoon. He's done what you have to do at the Crucible. Found a new level to get himself in front.
Mark Allen, 74 on the frame.
A sedate start from Mark Allen, but a 4-frame blitz after the interval has turned this match around. John Higgins is the one with work to do when they come back for the final session. The pistol firing on all cylinders in the last 4 frames to lead 9-7 going into the finale.